DJ Event Planner will change the way you manage and run your business. Streamline all of your procedures and software into one easy-to-manage system. DJ Event Planner, the ultimate online planning tool.
Good evening, everyone. It is Tuesday night, and tonight is a little bit different show for us, but we do have the one and only Brian S. Red with us this evening. Good evening, Brian.
Good evening, John. How are you?
I am doing well. And we'd like to welcome all of our viewers. Now, we've got viewers who are catching us on the webinar software tonight, so you guys are right here with us in webinar land.
And by the way, anybody who saw the pre-show stuff, that was privileged. Keep your damn mouth shut.
Exactly.
So you know that was all privileged. I'm counting on you guys being cool and adults and leaving it alone, and just nothing that we did in the pre-show you can talk about.
Yep, because those
can't talk about any of that stuff.
If you're seeing us out on Facebook Live, we're actually having 3 Facebook Live streams of this tonight. Typically, people do one. We decided we're just going to go all out. We're doing 3. So some of you are watching us on the Disc Jockey News Facebook Live. Some of you are watching on DJNTV's Facebook Live. Some of you are watching on the DJNTV Insider area, which you guys are the ones in the Insider area. You get to see the behind-the-scenes stuff. So, or some of the insiders are with us tonight, or folks who signed up. So, if you guys have any questions tonight, we're going to be going through 4 different questions in 4 different segments to the show. If you're watching this on YouTube later, these are 4 different components to tonight's show. We're breaking it apart so you guys have a little bit easier time to digest. You can go and grab one of them instead of having to go and watch an hour of us talking about the 4 topics. So we decided we'd break them down a little bit.
It's easier that way.
We've had some questions that came in, and that's what I wanted to get to. That I want to pull those up. There we are right away. Okay. So again, if you guys have questions in the chat room, we'll deal with questions if they're related to. We'll get them during that 10-minute session or so, and then if not, we'll get them a little bit later. So. The first question, Brian, I've had the question, people were wanting to know, get some suggestions or ideas on how to connect with venue managers. They're wanting to get into a bar or get into a club, and how do they connect with these people to get into the establishments?
Right. Well, I can only speak from my experience. I can tell you how I did it.
And that's what I figured. You and I will tell how we did it, and then we go
right.
There, yeah.
You probably had a completely different method of going about this. What I did was I was actually going out to the clubs that I wanted to work in and getting to know everybody and watching the DJ and seeing what that DJ was doing and what that DJ wasn't doing and kind of figuring out what I could bring to the table. And inevitably there was always that time once I got to know everybody where they would just say, hey, yeah, we need a DJ. Say, hey, by the way, I do that. And no way. Yeah, I do that. And that's how it worked. It was that simple. Just to kind of approach people cold. I never felt like that was the way to go. Developing that relationship first with everybody there, a friendly relationship, a good friendly relationship with everyone there is key, I think. So when you walk in, you're already family, they already trust you, and away you go. That's how I've done it, and it's worked out very well for me. I hear a lot of people talking about, making demo tapes or demo CDs, recordings. I've never had to do that. That's always how I've done it. One time, I'll tell you how I got into a club one time. I've told this story before, but I'll tell it tonight. When I was 21, I was dating this gorgeous redhead. We're still friends. And she was a cocktail waitress at this club. Big club, been around forever. And I used to go in there with my friends and get drunk and obnoxious and just be a troublemaker. And her boss approached me one day and said, you know what? She's working. You need to knock it off, or I'm going to throw you out. I said, go ahead and throw me out. This place is a dump. And I was drunk, by the way. I was completely loaded. He says, really? I said, yeah, and your DJ sucks. He said, all right, tough guy. Why don't you go up there and give it a try? You're so good. I'm like, okay, fine. I'll go up there. So he did, okay, come on, you little bastard. This is it. You're never coming back here again. So I went back there, and he told the DJ, why don't you take a 15-minute break? We're going to see what smartass here can do. So I went behind the booth. I had to dig through all the 12 inches. I was like, oh crap, what do you got here? I'm digging through them. I found something I wanted to put on, something I thought would go over well because I've been listening to this guy for weeks, you know. And I think it was the extended remix of Human League's Keep Feeling Fascination. That's what I wanted to open with. So I threw it on the 12, and I'm like, all right, let's do this. And all of a sudden I straightened up because I can do that when I'm drinking. I can play straight. And I got on the microphone. I'm like, hey, everybody, welcome to Safe House. It is Saturday night. You guys ready to have a good time? Boom. Played the tune. Talked over it until it kicked in like you're supposed to, like the radio games do. The place exploded. I went for 45 minutes, and the manager came up to me and said, are you available next Saturday? That's how I got the gig, and I was there for 7 years. Now, I'm not saying that's how you should get a gig. I'm just saying that just walking in cold and saying, hey, I'm a DJ, never worked for me, ever, ever, ever. But having some kind of relationship or end somewhere and letting them know that you're a DJ has always been the best end for me.
And I think it's ironic that that's very much how I've worked it. The original one, it was they came looking to me because they were looking for someone who was pretty good at mixing music and such. But every bar that I've done since then, when I've gone in and picked up odd nights and such, it was me going and not going and drinking at these establishments. Most of the time, Lori and I are just going out for dinner and developing a relationship, as you're saying, and
get to know people.
The cocktail waitresses like a person, and the owners, see that you're coming in and spending a little money with them once in a while and doing business with them. And I think in this day and age, that's a part that folks overlook. And somebody mentioned. Even MJ does this, and he mentioned the other night. He, on his off nights, he's going out to these bars, and just going in there and having a pop and introducing himself and hanging out and experiencing things, but doing some business with them.
I love club life. I mean, I haven't gone in years. I'm almost 46. I'm kind of beyond that, but there was a time when that's what we did. We went out. Club Evolve, I did that. That's more of a lounge, but when I got into that, that was through an agency, so I went in kind of cold on that one. Mm-hmm. But it was still the same principle. Let's develop relationships with everyone there and make them like you and take care of them and be valuable so you can't be replaced. Do something that no one else is doing. Have a clue of what you're doing, too. It's never just been about playing music. It's been about... It's a business transaction, basically.
It really is. It really is. And the old story that people like to do business with the people they like, I think is so huge when it comes to what we do.
Right. Yeah. If you think that you're just going to show up in an establishment and play your favorite song, well, you're going to be worth whatever they decide they want to pay you. Kind of thing, If you go in there with a clue and you know how to work a room and you know how to make them money, then you're worth more. And not only cash-wise, but just as an individual, you're worth more to them. And I don't know. Those are my thoughts on it. That's how I've always done it.
Let's do a little branch up. David's got a great question. We've got a couple more minutes before the end of our kind of little 10-minute per section. Somebody asked, that's kind of the bar. But now if you want to get into a banquet hall, say a banquet hall or a catering place venue that is doing events, and to get in with them. My first thought in something like that is to go introduce myself and approach them from the prospect or the aspect of, is there something I can do to help you? Whether it's doing some lighting or some sound reinforcement, or if they have a company, they're going to do a picnic for their employees, what have you. Just how can I help you guys? I'd love to work with you and help you in any way I possibly can. And that has been going over well. Part of that is going and taking pictures of their venue when they look awesome and sharing those pictures on social media. That's a really kind of a overlooked but easy to do. And you get huge bang for the buck, because if you have some really cool pictures of making their venue look spectacular, not only are your pictures going to be shared by them, but they're going to be like, oh my gosh, they're helping to promote us. We love that.
Yeah. I mean, I think the other thing that you can do, if you happen to be doing an event there and you look around and say, yeah, you know what, I want to work at this place, make sure that banquets, catering, whoever gets your card, and make sure that you're working well with them. If you can do this, on an evening where you've really bailed them out somehow. Let's say catering's running a little behind and you play it off to the client and the guests like it was planned that way, like this isn't a big deal, it's a positive instead of a negative. Catering's going to love you and want to work with you. If the banquet manager drops the ball on something and you're able to cover for them, they're going to love you for it. Basically, anything you can do to make their job easier, they're going to want you in. Now, there are people who pay kickbacks and things like that, and I don't believe in that personally. That's just my moral compass. I want to be there because they want me to be there. See, for me, paying a banquet facility for me to work there would be like me soliciting a prostitute. I'm not there, or they're not there because I'm good or they like me. It's got to do with money. I want to be there because somebody likes me.
Yeah.
Because someone believes in me and trusts me, and I make their lives easier.
For sure. So,
but that's just me.
So the takeaway: build a relationship and serve them, make their lives easier, and it'll go a long way.
Right, exactly.
Gang,
do what the other guys aren't doing, and then they're gonna, whatever. Find the need, just like anything else. When you're running a business or you're starting a business, you find a need that's not being filled and you fill it, or you find a need that's not being filled well and you fill it well. So, to make it real simple.
There we go. This is going to be the break point. We'll be back in just a second for those of you watching on Facebook Live and such. Thank you guys for being with us this evening.